Hi, I'm Tristan Mick. I'm going to be talking about Octavia Spencer's interview on being a real communicator today. Notably, she is an Academy Award-winning actress who's played in various roles since the start of 1995. I first recognized her by her picture. I instantly was like, oh my god, she's in The Help, and I love that movie so much. So she goes on to say in this interview that she helpfully emphasizes the importance in the way in which we speak. It's not just about the words that you're saying, but it's how you're delivering the words. There's ways to do that with things like your tone, your facial expressions, especially your body language as well. I really agree with her on this. There's a lot of factors that play into telling a story and like really showing your emotions and what you're feeling in that moment. But yeah, so in The Help, she plays Minnie, and so she's this basically a maid at the time, and I feel like she was so good in this role. Like, I loved her in this movie. She was extremely expressive with her face, and she clearly showed how she felt without saying it. And so about this movie, it's in an older time period, and where she really, as like a black woman who's working for all of these like rich white people, cannot really speak her mind. And so what she does throughout this movie is she totally like makes facial expressions and like shows her disdain through her face. There's especially a time where she's having an argument with one of the ladies that she works for, and she makes a very special pie, and she has a dramatic change in tone, even raises her voice, and it just helps emphasize how angry she is and just showing a total act of defiance towards her boss. I'm sorry, I have really bad allergies. I'm kind of sick. So I found her section on facial expressions being used in comedic aspects to be particularly interesting. She talked about really struggling with like comedic work and pieces like that she found it kind of difficult, because there's so much about timing that if your facial expression goes off at the wrong time or it's the wrong facial expression, it just doesn't really like deliver the same. I personally love being funny. I try my best to tell like little jokes and goofy little stories. They're probably not very like silly, they're probably just self-deprecating, but I think they're funny, and so I like to tell them. And when I am like telling these stories, I totally get into like the facial expressions and things like that. Like, I will roll my eyes or open my mouth super wide to be like a jaw drop moment. Yeah. And then my most common habit that I like to do, I don't think she talked about this, but personally I make like weird sound effects. I don't know. It's just my thing, and I feel like it helps with like showing emotions and like being kind of funny. Oh my gosh. Allergies are killing me. Okay. I also think something important with telling stories is movement. Like, if you're just sitting there, no one's getting the tone, like, no one's understanding that you're, like, have energy towards a situation. So, talking with your hands or, like, moving around, that is my thing. That's why it's hard for me to, like, sit still. I really don't like sitting still. I feel like it's giving no energy, and it doesn't help with, like, telling your story and, like, showing, like, truly how you feel. And I'm definitely more of a highly expressive like talker and like storyteller, much like Octavia. And I found this really hard growing up because I competed in FFA, and their big thing was like sitting still and like doing interviews or like talking and having speeches, and you like can't move at all, and I hate that. I literally hate it. I want to be expressive. I want to like move around and be, I don't know, like taking up a lot of space, and sometimes you just can't do that. However, there's plenty of situations where you can, and I think it's important that you do when you're in a situation where it's acceptable to be like very expressive and things like that, because I feel like it really helps show how you're feeling, because words don't always completely say everything. But yeah.